Hello, and welcome to issues number 20 of Comicentric. I am your host, Cruz, and today with us we have our friend Tanya, La Lunaperdida Sotelo, on the show with us. Tanya has been a good friend of us for quite some time, since she started tabling with us at East Los Angeles Cape, and even a little before that. She will sit down with us and tell us what's been going on since we last saw her pre-pandemic. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this afternoon with La Luna Perdida. Thank you.
An item, and you can tell your
okay,
listeners, guess what this is. What is
It's a phone.
and someone in the comments was like, that's obviously a phone case.
Obviously.
I just told them. All right. We just start recording.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
And then I just started saying, and with us now is Tanya Sotelo. Wait, Sotelo?
Sotelo.
Sotelo.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, but my name is, I don't know, I've had people call me Tina, Tanya,
Tanya for
Judy, I don't know.
Luna Perdida.
Luna Perdida. That's the name that I would have given myself. I'm like, yes. Luna, first name, Perdida, last name.
There you go.
Oh my God. But that you like that name? Like, you think
Yeah.
Do you think of yourself as a Luna Perdida?
I have a horrible sense of direction, so
Okay.
I would get lost. I had a tendency to bump into things a lot because I would be distracted and daydreaming. That's been a thing since I was little. So, I mean,
Okay, you're out there and you're kind of lost. I get it.
I mean, I have been known to walk into a street pole.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a couple of times. It's not just a one-off thing. I do just get distracted in the middle of things. I remember one time I was in high school and I was getting something and I got distracted, but I kept going forward and I ended up hitting myself in the door frame and busting my glasses.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, I'm lost in so many ways.
Okay, then the name fits. I love it.
Yeah.
That's your origin story of that
My
name,
origin
of your
story.
Instagram moniker.
You see me walking around the street looking around. It was really bad when we used to take the bus because
Oh boy.
You miss the cricket now?
Yeah, Mr. Cricket now.
is that his name, Cricket?
No, because usually we have a cricket. That,
Oh,
but
okay,
I think I killed
so-
him yesterday.
And now you see what happened. That's what you get when you kill
We
crickets.
got
That's what I
knocked
try
out.
and tell Fox. I was like, don't. I was telling Peter the story about how Fox didn't like a cricket and he wanted his sister to take care of it. And he was talking to it before. He's like, I'm sorry, Cricket, but you are a demon spawn from hell and I need to send you back.
You're annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did it in such a creative way where it's kind of okay, let's kill this cricket for you.
You felt his anguish at that point, right?
I did. I was like, wow, this is so poetic. Yes, we need to get rid of this cricket.
How is Fox now, by the way?
He's 9, going on 17.
Yeah.
Because all the attitude we didn't get from Isabel just compounded in him, and we're getting all of it.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It's fun because there's never a boring moment. There's always something interesting happening.
But the learning curve must be pretty big at that point, though, because he's young.
Yeah. He's
You weren't ready for a teenager.
oh no, I wasn't, because Isabel was just so chill.
Yeah.
She's sleeping. We get up, we watch something fun. We just chill, and. Fox is just dramatic, and he's just oh my God, why do you ruin everything? You are aggravating me right now. He was like, this is the worst day ever. And I'm like, okay. Okay, I get it.
Wow. So everything's going good that way then, family-wise?
Family-wise, yeah. It's always interesting. Our oldest is going off to college, so that's
Big.
very surreal. And then Fox is just hilarious, chaotic. He is our little chaos goblin, and we love him dearly. They're both really good, really creative kids, so it's always fun.
Yeah, I can see.
Well, you guys have known them since they were little. Fox was, I think, 6 months old when Adolfo did his first event here, and Isabel was 8. Yeah. So over the years, you guys have really seen them
It's surreal.
grow.
That's pretty much, that's the word we're looking at right now, surreal. Because, the oldest one's going to college. The youngest one's, becoming a teenager. It's
like he's really, and he's so sweet whenever he sees you guys. I think, like, last time, like, he, like, greeted you like you were like some kind of feudal lord. I think he like kissed your hand or something, like my lord or something.
I tripped out and I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't mind. I kind of understood. That's what he comes in. He's like has his own ways of doing things. All right, cool. Let's just go with it.
You're like, sure.
Cool kid. But okay, that's family. What about you? And when we met you, you had earrings for sale. You had stuff for sale. You had bags for sale.
Yes.
Are you still doing that?
Not so much. I have all of my supplies. I think just really with like the whole pandemic, it really just kind of put a damper, I think for all of us, we were just like in a funk. So like I do have like my stuff, and I want to start back up. We have a room that I think last time when Adolfo was here, he was talking about how he was cleaning it up. It's worse.
It's a transition. It's not worse. It's on transition.
It's so we're hoping that to get it like usable soon. But I do have like my sewing machine. I got Isabel's sewing machine, so we're want to start a project with her. I have all my jewelry supplies. I made earrings out of comic books, and I really loved doing that. I still have a lot of the ones that I made for myself. I would make, and then I'd be like, for me. This was for me. And I was really lucky that I found like a lot of, don't worry people, these were like issues that were in the $1 or 25-cent bin. And, most of the ones that I really enjoyed, I also have like a couple of copies. Like I had, I think, Sandman issue 46. I have 5 of them. I was going through it because we were watching the show. And I was like, why do I have 5?
Did you just pick them up randomly?
Yeah, when we would go to Frankincense. And so, like, whenever, like, I would just... I don't know. I was like a vulture. I was just like going through them, and I'm just like, okay, I got it. This one's in good condition. This one's, and I would just grab, and I would forget that I had them. And so, so I have 5 of those. I have a lot of duplicates. So I was like, okay, so I can use these a lot, in my projects. But I'm also trying to learn. What did I get? I got a Cricut. So I'm trying to learn how to do that. And I was telling Peter I've been writing. You
have a blog too, I saw that.
I used to have a blog, and it was, I did a review of like one of the shows that Adolfo did, Oflo da Monstro, who I have been married to for many years. I think I did a book review for Alicia Escobar. She did like this trilogy, and we actually met her at the Latino Comics Expo, I think. The first year that we were there, we were tabled with her and her husband, Luis Escobar. And I bought her books, and I liked it, so I reviewed it. And then I randomly, when I was doing sewing, one of my friends from MySpace, and like who I still keep in contact with, and who actually, funnily enough, she now is the editor-in-chief of Artistic. When I left, she's now like the guest editor for it. So we like back and forth. We have always like shared things creatively. Naomi Valdivia, Beans and Rice, shout out. Shout out.
Okay. And that magazine is still going? Or?
Yeah, it's still going. Okay. So initially, me and Melina, we met at, I think it was Kale. And both of our sons, her 2 sons and my son is autistic. And so we were talking, and she had this idea. And then Luis Pichardo with DSTL Arts, she knew him, and he got in the mix, and so then it became like an actual publication. And from the beginning, I always wanted it more like autistic representation, but then when the pandemic hit and everything, it was just kind of we weren't able to do that. And then finally we were able to, I transitioned out, and now we have a editor, a guest editor who is autistic, and so that's amazing, and I'm so happy. Cool. And Fox is still contributing, so you're gonna see some of his stuff, and he's a little artist, and it's been fun.
He has a lot of imagination.
He does.
What I've seen from his Instagram, yeah, he does. The little clay sculptures he makes and everything, that's a lot of going on in that brain, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm glad you're still working on that. Like, I remember the first issue, that's probably the only issue I have. You know?
Yeah.
But is it digital, or how can we get it?
So with artistic, you can get it with all of the stuff with DSTL Arts. You can get I think an e-zine, and then you can get physical copies. And then now that things are opening up more, I know that Luis is doing in-person like classes. So definitely check him out. He's amazing. It was really cool to work with him and Melina. And I'm just happy that it's in really good hands now with Naomi. But yeah, well, rounding back to like the reason I brought her up, she used to work at this company that did die cuts for fabric, and they sent me some stuff, and I would use them, and then I would do blog posts about the stuff that I was trying out, and so that was my blog. But like I haven't done anything for a long time. The writing I'm trying to do now is more creative and fantasy, but I was telling Peter, I was like, I'm having too many ideas. Like I keep piling them on. It keeps expanding. So I'm like, it's getting out of control.
Why not separate them? Maybe like get a couple of those and make 2 stories out of it.
There's 4 now.
Never mind that.
But I mean, I kind of feel like I'm getting like a feel for it, and I'm just trying to like get like the main ideas out, and then I can go back and clean up and cut the fat, and then also just finding, because it's one thing having the idea, but oh my god, it's the rumbling. It's what's in the attic above us right now.
Just in case we were wondering, it's because we're outside right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in the alley.
But
give it a second if you like. Cut it out.
It's okay. Yeah. So I lost my train of thought.
Yesterday there was a bunch of motorcycles just randomly.
Yes.
And it was loud.
Yeah. We've had from the cricket, we've had motorcycles, we've had fire trucks, we've had construction crews. I think it adds to the ambiance of
yes,
the
it does. And then the dog right now.
Yeah.
And then the whatever that is. That is such a cool sound. You should like use it in something. You should later you should compile all of them together and like use it in an intro.
There you go.
There you go.
She just made the intro.
There it is.
Music right
there you go.
There it is.
Crickets, fucking motorcycles, emergency vehicles, and so on. Just gotta find someone to put it all together.
Yeah, I'll put it together. Yeah.
You have the iPad now. You can there's nothing you can't do now.
With the iPad?
Yeah.
It's an amazing device.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people it's overdone, but I mean, I just really like the convenience of it, and there's just so much that you can do on it.
You know what's funny? I was that person.
I know you were. I listened to the podcast.
Okay, yeah. It wasn't until that guy sitting right next to you.
And he's like so gentle with it. He's like, there's a lot of advantages. You can do stuff. That's what I love about him. He's like not like super pushy.
No.
He's just kind of like, I see what you're saying, but there are advantages.
Yeah. No, I swear he worked for Apple because he sold me on it.
Yeah, the next day, right?
Yeah.
The next day.
The next day. I went to Best Buy. I told
Apple hired this man.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my iPad. What? Yeah, I just ordered it. So yeah. And I've been grateful. It's been helping me out. It's recording this podcast. It helps me with my drawing.
Yeah, I know. You have so many drawings in there. Like, I was like, that's a lot. That's a lot.
And I've had it, like a month, maybe a month and a half.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm trying it, It's my new best friend.
Move over, Peter.
No, sorry, dude.
What? Did you give it a name? Pedro.
Oh, damn.
Hola, Pedro.
So when he switches to Spanish, it's going to be like he's talking to Pedro.
That's
like,
exactly.
Pedro, mi amigo.
¿Cómo está? Vamos a recordar otro podcast. Órale,
El podcast.
El podcast. I'm glad. You mentioned Melina. She's magic glasses.
Oh, Melina. I love Melina. I'm sorry. I'm like laughing so much I'm crying right now.
That's fine. How is she doing? I haven't talked to her in ages.
She's a boss ass lady. As always, she has started her own company.
Oh boy.
It's called Cuídate Mija. I feel like I'm like Look, I am a hype woman. Okay, I will come and I will. So if you guys need anything, let me know, and then I will.
When you used to do shows for him, you were his hype woman.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I can do a lot of stuff for other people, but when it comes to doing my own stuff, I really like have a hard time. I used to write papers for people in high school, and I wouldn't do my own. And I would just be like, I don't know what it was. It was like the fact that I was doing it for someone else, and I was like, I would have like that momentum, and I would have like the creative, like, yeah. But when it came to my own stuff, I was like, I don't know. Do we really need to pass this class? I don't know.
You don't take care of yourself, Ruth? If you don't take care of yourself, how are you gonna take care of other people?
I know. It's and I'm always telling people like you can't fill, you can't give from an empty cup. You know, you gotta do. But like I'm like, what is the saying? Do as I say.
Not as I do.
But I'm working on it. I'm working on it because that was one of the things too, like where I didn't give myself time to like write. So now I'm back at it, and I'm trying to expand, and I try and get Adolfo to, give me critiques, but he's just always like, I like it. And I'm like, thank you. Can I get like a sentence? Yeah. Can I get a little bit more?
You guys need a little more, yeah. Well, I mean, send it to Melina. Send it to a friend.
Yeah. I need to get more because it's like just so... I mean, I sent it to my sister-in-law and my BFF. And, they like what they've seen already. Okay. But then I just keep going, and I'm just like this 100-tentacle monster by the time, like, I'm like, look, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. I need to really rein it in. I got to start shopping.
The thing is, you realize it.
Yeah.
And once you realize it, it might become a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I hope.
But going back to Melina, Melina has started her own business. It's called Cuídate Mija. You can find it on Instagram and Facebook. And she is doing coaching, and she is, selling planners and cups. And it's really cool. And you guys have met Melina. She is phenomenal. She is just positive, and she is, I want to be like her when I grow up.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I should get her in the podcast.
You should.
Doesn't she live like over the hill, over the mountain?
No, I don't think she lives over the hill unless she moved. But I think, because she used to meet us when we would meet with Luis. I was like, wait.
What's this guy's name?
I lost my train of thought for a minute, guys. No, we used to meet like halfway points. Like she would come to us or we would go to her. But I think she would do it. Yeah. Yeah, and she's just, also she did the magic classes, and, she's done a lot of, I think she's done events with you at Nostalgia, and,
She was at the Cape?
Yeah, she was at Kale. She did the Long Beach Comic Expo, and we actually, were lucky enough to table with her, and she's done Latino Comics Expo. She's just, amazing. So, okay, so who else do we need to let's go through. Give me a list.
No, I mean, good job, by the way. So now I gotta reach out to her, and next season she'll be on. If she allows, if she's all right with it.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure she would.
Yeah. She's always, and she's like a businesswoman, so it's also, this is something where she's pivoted, her knowledge of something else, and she's using it to motivate people. Okay. And I feel like she's always been like that, and I feel like the magic classes was also like that. It was, motivating and having you think about, your identity and, right and wrong and decisions that you would make, and, is this a good decision? Is this a bad decision? I don't know.
She never finished that book, did she?
I don't think so. Yeah. So maybe if she comes on the podcast, talk about it, maybe issue 2.
Yeah. Where is it and how can I get it?
Yeah.
And then maybe she'll get it.
Then maybe some magic will happen.
There you go.
That's good stuff. Nothing. It's kind of skipping right now.
Wow.
Look, we are sitting right under
a ghost.
Whatever's happening out there.
But it's outside. It's nice and breezy.
I know. I'm just gonna implant that. Every time something happens, it's gonna be like, Tanya.
She's exceptioning us, dude.
Every time you hear it, then you can just call it. You can just be like, Tanya. It's la cabrona. ¿Qué está haciendo?
Oh my God. I'm scared now. Because I'm the one that's right underneath it.
You are. And just don't open it up. Just like leave it there. You know, like it's locked up for a reason. Just don't go poking around.
You know, the more you tell me not to open it, the more I want to open it. Right?
Oh my God, this is the start of a horror movie.
Yep.
Yeah. You could do a horror comedy now. You could be
yeah.
like about what's going to happen.
What's in there?
What's inside.
Just take a picture.
And why did you release it? And then I'm going to come and I told you. I tried to warn you. You didn't want to listen.
You're going to be the lady with the sarape in every movie.
Have you guys ever had something like that happen? Like where somebody had to come and do like a limpia or anything?
In my house?
Yeah.
No, I think it was in a friend's house. Like I walked in on something like that.
Yeah.
And my friend just goes, "Let's go." And then like we just
Yeah.
left. Like, what's going on in there? You know? And they're like, "Oh, this is cleaning out this bad spirit." They had like sage going. They had this cup going. They had,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell was going on in there.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
What about you, Peter?
No, not really.
No? Yeah.
You have?
Yes, I have. That's why I set this up.
Okay, nice.
It's my everybody loves this story.
Time.
Okay, so it's like 3 parts.
Okay.
I grew up in El Paso, Texas, and obviously it's right on the border of Juarez. We would go, back when you could just, go across the border. We would go see family. We were coming back and there was like a bus that was, like blocking traffic. And so my mom had the window down. It was me, my sister, and my cousin in the back seat. And all of a sudden this hand comes, grabs my mom from the back of her hair, slams her head on the steering wheel, and then just takes off. And so my mom's pissed and she's like, what the hell? She gets out of the car and she starts yelling. And the lady turns around. It's my aunt. Like not blood aunt, but she was married to my tío, and she was a bruja.
Oh.
And so my mom was like, get in the car, we're rolling up the windows. And then the bus thankfully moves. We make it out. We get across the border, we make it home. And the house is like full of flies, like big, juicy black flies. Like they're just everywhere. And we are like swatting them. We are like, and they just keep coming. And so finally my mom was like, we need to burn them. And so we were catching them and, swatting them, burning them. And so then my mom had to, get someone. So my grandma knew this lady. And so we brought her to the house. Like I'm saying like I was like 6 or something. Like as we went and we brought her to the house.
Hey, you're part of it.
No, we did. We went to her apartment complex, a really nice, like lady in her 50s. She came. She did her thing. There was some kind of herb, like there was some kind of prayers and stuff. And she was like, there's a spirit here. And we're like, okay. And I was like, well, what do we do? She's like, we need to drop it off somewhere. So we all get in the car.
Like a lost dog?
Yeah, like we just need to take it. We need to take it out of the house and we need to leave it somewhere. And so we ended up all piling in the car, me, my mom, my sister, the lady, and our little friend. And then we drop it off at Dairy Queen.
What?
And then, it was our local Dairy Queen. Like, we would always go there and stuff. Yeah. So, like, we would just, like, drive by. And she's like, you can't tell anybody. She's like, don't tell anybody what happened. And so, like, I don't live there anymore. Right. Obviously, I'm in California. And, like, this was, like, 35 years ago, 36 years ago. I'm like, I think it's okay.
It's fine now.
But I tell everybody. And, like, my friend, I actually told it yesterday to one of my coworkers. And she's like, are you telling him about Dairy Queen? She's like, I love this story. I was like, yeah, I'm telling him about Dairy Queen.
So whenever you went back to the Dairy Queen, we were like, hey.
Yeah, I was like, where's my friend? Yeah. It's more like, no, like, you go and you're like, I don't want to, like, see anybody that I know. Like, so just kind of just give me my Frosty and, like,
I'm out.
My chicken tenders and my ice cream, and I'm gone.
Wow. So you just left it there, huh?
We just left it there.
Wow.
I mean...
Well, wait. Was your aunt that sent you that gave you that curse when she did it to her mom?
I guess. There's a lot of stories. Like, that lady was bananas.
Oh.
Like, she was a very toxic lady. And, like, I don't remember her. But there was, like, that was the only weird thing that ever happened. I don't know if I really believe that there was a ghost. Like, I honestly think that, there's, like, an explanation for it. But it's such a good story that I, like...
Yeah, like there was a dead animal under the house or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's up there now.
There you go again.
When the old store, we used to joke around we had a ghost.
Yeah, Archie.
We would hear noises and stuff. And I remember one time we were sitting in the store, just me and Enrique sitting at the store, and we were like, just happened to be looking at the same spot. And this Funko Pop, it jumped up.
literally
Like
jumped
it
up.
didn't fall off the shelf. It like popped up,
It went up and over like
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
and we're like,
Yeah.
time to go home.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
no.
did we even pick it up?
No,
No, right?
Like,
No.
Like I burned it.
No.
Like I threw holy water on it. I kicked it out of the store. Yeah.
And it was be like, oh yeah, maybe it was a neighbors next door that kicked something, but no, just
Like
that
just like
one.
that one. Like
Yeah.
that's a little.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
no.
it popped up and then off the shelf.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have any real ghost stories.
Or
that
like
people
this
tell
was
me about.
not like as advertised. I know. Like I didn't know they were gonna actually start popping off. Can you imagine if all of them started popping off? It can be in your comic.
Oh my god.
No.
Pops that pop off. What if that's all the clairvoyant, you know? All the pops are actually living
They pop,
sentient.
yeah.
Did you guys ever see this movie called The Dolls?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no.
I was like 12 years old when I saw that movie.
It was horrible. I used to have
Yeah.
porcelain dolls all in my room. Yeah, no. I never slept in that room.
You know?
I was just like,
But it was your room.
no, I was like, Mom, scoot over. I was like, too many eyes on me.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I didn't watch that movie. I watched Killer Toys versus Dolls. Or that's like the sequel, I guess, to that one. Yeah, and I watched that first. I'm like, oh, that's so much fun. I watched Dolls, though. That shit scared
No,
the shit out of me.
it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. I
Yeah.
don't know. There's just something about like this little, I don't know, pristine porcelain doll with like dark hair. I think she had like a burgundy dress or something. And just, you know, wanting to like possess you. And then wasn't it like the factory? Like all of the dolls came to life.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Okay. I don't want to say this, but I do have a doll story.
Tell me.
Okay. When we were young, sorry, Charlie, if you're listening. My mother had a doll who had a pink dress. Okay, this doll had these little discs that you would put in the back, and it would sing to you. It had like 3 different discs, and you know, one of the songs was like, "Mommy, mommy, where's my daddy?"
Oh my God.
It's still stuck in my head. You know. Again, sorry, Charlie, if you're listening to this. This doll, we would take pictures in front of the bunk bed, and she would be in the top bunk bed, and we always put her facing forward. But every time my mom would take a Polaroid picture, and we got a couple of those, the doll would be facing.
To the side.
Yeah. She wanted to be part of the thing. This doll got so out of hand that we had
She's
to
a
rip.
narcissist.
Yeah.
She's like trying to be in the
She would
picture.
jump out of the bed. We would find her at the bottom of the bunk beds. You know, we would find her like, you know, in a different position and some on my grandma's bed or, you know, on my mom's bed or something. She was all over the place in that room.
Yeah.
Well, needless to say, we took her legs off. You know, I'm sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this. We took her legs off, you know, so she could stop moving. But it didn't stop her. We took the batteries off. We hid those discs, you know. One day, all of a sudden, me and Charlie playing, Mommy, mommy, where's my teddy? Bolted out of there.
Yeah.
You know, bolted out of there. I think I threw my little brother down, and I'm like, I'm out of here. You know? Yeah. Again, sorry,
Every
Charlie.
man for himself.
Yeah. But we came back in, we looked, no batteries, no discs, no nothing, but it sang to us, you know? And there was time, I swear, she would be looking at us,
Yeah.
you know? And I think we threw it away, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what we
It
did
was
with
the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do.
Years later,
No, you should have taken it to the Dairy Queen.
left her there.
Left her there.
When you guys do your horror comic, okay, can you
Dairy
please put the Dairy Queen
Dairy
and the
Queen.
doll?
Right.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
We found her dress. My mom kept her dress. So I think it was my mom that threw it away or where she found it in the
Yeah.
trash or something. She kept her dress.
Yeah.
And we found one of the discs. I threw that away right away.
Oh my God, burn
Yeah,
it.
Yeah. But the dress is somewhere in my house and I'm scared of that.
Burn it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing that's really happened. There's a Polaroid or two out there
Yeah.
with that doll looking straight at us. I don't know why my
Yeah.
mom has them, but it's out there.
The only other kind of thing that I've had,
Yeah.
like, I remember my mom used to work like for this guy, and he had like a boot factory, and so she had to work on a Saturday. So we went to his house, and it was just me and my sister, and we were probably like maybe I was probably 9, she was probably 8, and so we were just like alone in this like huge house. Nobody was home. I guess his family was on vacation, and so I was in his daughter's room, and it was like a I guess like a basement room or something, but it was really nice, you know. It wasn't, you know, creepy or anything. They weren't keeping like her like in a basement, like a dark basement. But she had like all these books, and I was like a big reader, so I was looking through the books, and she had a little keyboard and like messing with the keyboard, and I just like, I don't know where, Tanya, and I just freaking bolted out of the house, and I just stayed outside until my mom came to pick us up. But then I just decided, no, I'm not going to let anything get me. So I'm just like going to be like, so anytime I felt anything weird, you know, like that little tickle in the back of your neck, I just like, I'm not going to turn around. That's what happens in movies. They turn around and they look, they open the window that's barricaded with boards. And then that's when things happen. So just don't do that.
Yeah. Easy as that, right?
Just don't.
If everybody in a horror movie watched another horror movie before they went into their own horror movie,
you hear a disembodied voice call your name. You don't say like, "Oh my God, who's that? Who are you?" No, you don't do that. Yeah. If you feel like somebody's watching, don't turn around and look at them. You just like walk faster, walk away.
They want you to respond. They want you to get into your.
So just ignore them.
Okay.
I do that with people too, and it works. So it's just like
works and goes at human beings.
Look. It's a life skill. You can use it with the supernatural. You can use it, you know, in everyday life.
That's good. I like that.
That's funny.
Oh boy.
That guy you knew in high school, and he like you see him from your peripheral, and he's like advancing towards you. Just pretend you didn't see him. You're like, oh, I've got a phone call. Hello, Peter, Pedro. I'm on my way.
But you do see those things on the side sometimes, don't you?
Those little like, I mean, I think you do see things, and I like sometimes like when like our front door has like stained glass, and then there's like a little gap under the door, and so sometimes when it's like twilight and the cars are passing by, it looks like just like a shadow like running across, and I'm just like, ooh, like for a second, and then I'm like, oh no, like it's just like the cars you know, like driving by. It's not like a little shadow.
But you go there though. Your mind
do.
Yeah.
And then Fox would say like some out of pocket stuff sometimes. Like he would be like, so like my dad passed away, and Fox only met him once, and I have a recording of him, and he's like, we were eating ice cream sandwiches, and he was like, I remember when my grandpa used to make this for me. And I was like, yeah? What? He's like, it's my favorite. And I was like, okay, when did he make this for you? He's like, a long time ago, he made this for me, and it was my favorite, and da-da-da. And I was like, okay. And then I'm like, do you see him? What does he look like? What color are his eyes? And, you know, because he doesn't remember, and I don't have any pictures of him, but he was like, I was like, does he have brown eyes or does he have green eyes? Is he tall or is he short? And so he got some of the stuff right, but I was just like, it's kind of like, you know, 50-50. If you give, you know, two options.
Yeah, no. And now you see why you don't mess with Ouija boards and stuff like that. No.
Yeah.
Stop looking up. You already put it in his mind.
And it's gonna be for Halloween. You guys can do something. You can like decorate it for the Halloween. I'll be back for the Halloween episode. We can tell more scary stories. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, so.
No, yeah, this is good. I like this.
The Halloween episode is gonna be you crawling in there.
Oh, come on.
Look, sir.
What is it gonna be me though?
You're the host.
Should get Adolfo. He's more like, no, I need him. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. No one depends on me. I guess I'm going.
Get one of those, like, you know, what are they? The little cameras that are like with the wire. You can just like put it through there and just kind of look and see. And so you're, you know, just if you don't open it and there's like already a crack in there, you can just kind of maneuver it to see, you know? Maybe.
And then we find a dead body or whatever.
That's going to be like, esta Tanya.
Yeah. I'm scared. It's actually going to be you in there.
Whoa. And it's going to be me. And I'm like, I turn on it.
Dun, dun.
Hola.
This is the scariest episode we've had so far, by the way.
You're like, we just thought, you know, she was just going to come and just be like, oh, I like to sew and make earrings and stuff like that. But like, that's why I have a hard time with, you see how like my mind works.
It goes all over the place.
It is.
That's funny.
Oh man.
This is gonna be the most random episode that you guys have done. It's like, look, I have no idea what was up with that girl.
But she jinxed us.
Yeah.
Ghost in our attic.
But now we have a ghost in the comic book store, and every time I hear something,
It's gonna be Tanya.
you guys can just like tag me, like when you guys like on Instagram, you can just be like, and then this fell, and then just be like hashtag, Tanya, pinche Tanya.
Well, it's just funny because we've been here almost a year.
Yeah.
And we barely noticed it today. Like,
And there's been a lot going on.
Yeah. Like, where's this window go to? Like, it goes nowhere.
But you see, like that kept you safe. Okay, let's just keep it that way. Just yeah.
I mean, I guess.
You're like, now it's like
Scary.
you guys have like the itch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
He's like, it's touching. It's like a leaf.
It's alright. Don't be scared. We're fine. We're
Yeah,
good.
it's fine. It's fine. I just like to do that. Like every time something happens at work, I just like yell out poltergeist.
Yeah.
and everybody's just like, anybody's like, no, it's not a poltergeist.
See?
What the hell was that?
See? It is. Well, that was our last episode ever.
Oh my god.
We're all gonna die. Was it goose? I'm gonna say it's goose.
No?
gonna say
Yeah,
goose.
it's probably the goose.
Okay.
Maybe. Hopefully.
You're like, it's a
What is it? No. I just
my
remembered.
God.
Cruz, 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 que se vaya el diablo y que venga Jesús.
There you go. There you go.
We're gonna start praying.
Yeah, we have to.
Oh my god, me fue por un caminito. That's the only prayer I know.
Which one's that one?
That one, I don't remember all of it, but it's like me fue por un caminito. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank now. I can't even. You see, it's blocking me.
Yeah, it's blocking out a father.
Oh my
The
god.
only thing I think about, un caminito, yo te fui a buscar, muy lejos caminé, y al fin yo te encontré.
And then they died.
Damn.
Nothing is.
Thing is saved. Oh man.
So have you guys been watching anything good?
American Horror Story?
Oh my god.
No. Nice.
Have you guys seen the new Sandman series?
Not yet. I haven't started.
You guys
Yeah.
need to see
I need
it.
to
Good,
watch
good.
that.
Yeah, I love it. That was the first, since we are in a comic book store, so like let me rein it in and bring it back to like
Comics? Okay.
comics. That was actually the first comic book that I read that really opened me up to like comics,
Okay.
And I was at the library and I saw the graphic novel, The Kindly Ones, which I know it's out of order, but I started reading it and I wasn't even looking at the images. I was just reading it
Yeah.
and it was so good. So then I went back and then I was looking at the art and
Yeah.
everything. And so that's where I kind of started. I'm not like a huge comic book person, but I know Peter has done fools for me,
Yeah.
like when they, the new Sandman came out in Lucifer and
Yeah,
Hellblazer and stuff
Hellblazer,
like
yeah.
that, and Dune and American Gods, and yeah, so
Yeah, I mean, that's what attracted me to those books was the actual art.
Yeah.
The book, the actual reading came afterwards, and you know what? If anything, that got me into my goth phase.
I used to be really into mythology, so I think
Yeah.
that's what really got me because I just loved the idea of how these gods came into creation, by belief of the human beings,
We created them.
and it was just mind-boggling because I used to go to the library a lot because I was really cool. I used to be like after school, that's where I was, I would get some rowdy a little bit. The librarians had to, come quiet me down because I was laughing out loud, a little too loud in the library. But yeah, I would be in there and we had an occult section.
Oh, wow.
Like an encyclopedia of the occult. So that's where I learned, about like fairies and how like they're actually not nice and, the Faustian deal and stuff like that. So I was already interested in that kind of stuff, and then to find Sandman was really cool and interesting, and that's where I kind of like took off with that.
Yeah, well, that's interesting
Yeah.
to me. the fact that you actually through a library, not even through a comic shop or anything else. It's a library where you pick those up.
Yeah.
And not at the time was not many libraries carried any books like that, really.
Yeah, that one surprisingly, it was the one in Highland Park, and it looked like a castle. I loved that library. I loved it, and now they like redid it, and it just doesn't feel the same. But I loved going there, and I would read horror anthologies, and that's where it was, because they also had like a young adult section, and they would have like the graphic novels there. So I read that and The Long Halloween and the other Sandman comics and other things that they had there. But that one was the one that really drew me in. And then, you know, like obviously Neil Gaiman's work.
Yeah.
And then I used to like a lot of different like genres. So like, I don't know if you guys have ever read Christopher Pike or it's like he was around the same time like R.L. Stine. I mean, he still does stuff, but he had like this vampire series that I never read, but like he had like these really off the wall like science fiction books that were just like so like bananas. It was just really like out there, and I loved it. So like I think
this for young adults? I mean
teenagers, yeah, because there's like some, it's not like it would be like R.L. Stine and then I would say Christopher Pike, and then like maybe like go to like Stephen King. That's actually what I was gonna say. There was one, I think it was called The Starlight Crystal, and it was like there was something happened like on a spaceship, and it was just like, you know, I can't really remember everything about that one, but the one that I do remember, there was like this girl, and she was like a reincarnation of like some Greek goddess, and then somebody else was reincarnated and trying to kill her, and I think they put sand in her food, and you know, like it was cutting her up on the inside.
What?
But it was
wow.
Yeah, it was really bananas.
Christopher Pike, huh?
Christopher Pike,
Okay.
Yeah.
Look into the guy and see.
Yeah, and the covers are so cool. Like I love it. You know, like kind of pulpy looking. There was one with a dinosaur too. Like they were dinosaurs, but they looked like like they could transform. Like, and so they were going to high school, you know, and there was just, it's so weird.
Like Animorphs?
So I guess, like, but they could change, like, they could change it, but they were, like, primordial, and I don't remember, like, the whole, like, I think, but I just remember, and they were brother and sister, and it was weird. Flowers in the attic, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm tripping out.
You're like, it's trippy.
Yeah. Because I've read R.L. Stein, and I read Stephen King. I never knew this guy.
Yeah, he's, like, in the middle. I need to find the one I like the most, I think, had time traveling, but I don't want to say anything because I'll find it and I'll send it to you so that way you can check it out, because that one was really good. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
And the library you mentioned was on 52nd? Going up and down?
I don't know streets. Remember, there's a reason Perdidas are like, I am directionally challenged, okay?
I'm trying to remember if it looked like a castle from the outside.
Yeah, it looked like a castle from the outside. So there was the Penny's hamburger stand. Like, this is how I tell directions. It was on the side right here. Penny's was right here. You would cross the street and you would walk, and then you would go, and then there was a little castle, and that was the library. And then there was a park right next door. It was right next to the park.
Okay, right next to the park, and then near the school.
Yeah, and then there was like a rec center and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where it was.
Okay, I kind of know. I kind of know where you're at right now.
Good.
Yeah. For people that need to know where that's at, just let me know. I'll tell you where you go.
Yeah, because this girl's not gonna tell you.
She tells you like this is here, but it's all right. I kind of figured it out though. I mean,
you did. I remember one time my boss was giving me a ride home, and she's like, how do you get home? I was like, can you follow that bus? And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, look, if you follow that bus, you know, just a little bit, then I can, you know, kind of like maneuver you. I was like, you go this way, you go that way. And I'm just using my hands. I don't actually say like right or left or anything. I'm just like, you were like lean. I'm just like, oh, now we're going to go here.
See that corner, turn that way. Yeah, all right, cool. Oh man, do you know north and south? And you do that? No.
Look,
I don't even do left and right. I'm sorry.
I mean, I can do left and right, but just like when it's like in the like when driving, like I'm just get nervous. I don't like being in cars. I don't. Poor Adolfo. I think he's probably got some kind of trauma from me, because I'm like like I'm like the worst passenger. It's like I'm on a roller coaster. I'm like, like
you hold on to the oh shit handle,
and I'm just like, and so Yeah, I hate being in cars. I hate.
How are you with
directions.
roller coasters?
Like, I'm okay with roller
Okay.
coasters, like, because I'm not going to bump into anybody else.
Well, in the car, you're fine too. You're not gonna bump into anybody in the car.
mean, statistically.
Oh my God. You just looked up the stats
Look.
already. All right,
That's true.
all right then, you win. This is our spookiest episode ever. But I mean, you like the new Sandman then, right?
I tried to pace myself, but I finished.
Oh,
I
really?
finished already, yeah. And so I got Adolfo and Isabel watching it, and then it's funny because like after each episode, I'm like, so tell me, what did you guys think about? What did you think about? Because Adolfo's read it, but Isabel hasn't read it. So I'll be like, what do you like? Did you like this change? Did you like this character?
Yeah.
I mean, just the first episode for me was just so good. It was just so good, and the actor that they got, great, amazing.
Morpheus?
Yeah, the guy that plays Morpheus. I don't know his name. I'm not familiar with his work prior to this, but I think like for me that was probably like I was worried. I was worried.
Wonder why it took so long for them to adapt it, because it's like, who do you get for that role?
Yeah, and I really do think that they did an amazing job with him. But like the superstar is the Corinthian, like so good,
Really?
so good. The Corinthian is just amazing. Yeah,
Because I want to watch it, but I want to sit down and watch it.
you do need to sit
Yeah.
down and watch it. You do really need to.
Like, pay attention to it, because you want to watch stuff. I'm doing other things while I'm
Yeah,
watching stuff.
and it like give yourself like an hour where you're just gonna be still. Put your phone down. Just turn off the lights and just enjoy. It's gonna be.
Light a couple candles, get the wine out. Let's go.
No, you're gonna fall asleep. You gotta alert. You gotta.
Stay alert. We'll open that window. Secret window.
He's gonna be upstairs watching it.
I'm done. Let's go home. Go home. There's no ghosts in my house. I don't want to take you with me.
Just make sure you say goodbye. Just like thanks. I would like to go home alone. And just,
Thanks. Make sure you take care of the store.
yeah, if you could please.
I know it's hot, but
I mean, but maybe it's cool.
that's true. They might
Maybe
like it.
it's cool
Yeah.
up there.
It hasn't fucked with us yet, right?
Yeah, if it hasn't, then like I think the thing is, and just in movies and shows and like those ghost adventure things, is like, why are you gonna come out and like mock people? Like, how would you like it? You're like, hey,
If you're here, say something.
can you say something? I was like, I don't want to talk to nobody. Okay, I am gonna pretend like I don't hear you, and then if you keep pestering me, then I'm gonna be pissed off, and I'm probably gonna tell you off.
Yeah, and that's what they tell you.
Yeah,
Die, get
I'm
out.
gonna
You're
give
mad.
you like the.
Uh,
You say that's an agreement. Okay,
Okay,
they're like,
okay.
look, just be chill. I'll be chill. Yeah.
totally for that. You know what? I'm actually guilty of like I wake up sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'll just YouTube ghost videos for
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, because you're like you want to do that at the witching hour. You want
Yeah.
to be like,
Yeah.
this is when the devil comes out to play. Like, I want to watch, but I for like a long time, like a couple of months, I was waking up like at 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was texting Isabel's mom, and she's like, oh. And that's the witching hour. You see anything weird? I'm just like, oh, please don't.
What a thing.
I
It's like, why
guess.
is she texting me this at this hour?
I know. I'm like, I'm awake right now. She's like, it's the devil. And I'm like, okay, bye. I won't text you anymore. But she was awake. No, she's like, I
okay.
know that she also like stays up, so like we'll text each other at random times. Yeah. I got her to watch it too, and
Oh,
she
nice.
doesn't like fantasy stuff. So
Oh.
she was more responsive than either of these fools over here.
Oh.
Because I was like, did you like? She's like, oh my god, this like really like touched me, and that was so beautiful. And I was like, I know. I was like,
Wow.
rip my heart out.
Wow.
It's really good. It's really good. So let me know when you start.
When I start, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna take it.
Group chat,
There you go. There you go.
gentlemen.
Sandman.
Yeah, I gotta get on it at some point.
I mean, it's like I don't want to be pushy, but it's really good, and I just think the longer you guys wait, the harder it's gonna be to avoid spoilers.
No, yeah, exactly
Yeah.
right. Someone's gonna come in
Yeah.
and tell this guy, "Oh, did you watch Sandman? This and this."
Did
Yeah.
you, someone did that to me once. I used to love anime when I was like in my 20s, and so I would go to. You remember Suncoast? Yeah.
Yep.
So freaking like
Spent many a dollar there.
steal my money. And I remember I was watching Trigun.
Oh yeah.
And I love Trigun. And then like, look, spoiler, if you are watching Trigun or you want to watch Trigun and you haven't seen it, have you guys seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just want to make sure. Did you finish it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, and he's like, yeah, isn't it crazy? He has a twin. And I was just like,
Wow, that was a big twist too.
why?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? And like, he felt really uncomfortable because I was like shooting daggers at him, and I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm sorry. I don't know. Can I cuss?
Yeah, totally. It's explicit.
I don't remember if you guys cuss on here or not, but
Fucking A.
you're like, sure, white out. We're gonna die. It's our last night.
No, man, I used to love Trigun. That was
I loved it too.
Yeah.
You know, because even though it had some like the least bit of fan service, it wasn't like gratuitous, and it kind of like he was just like girl crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
He was girl crazy. He thought everyone was beautiful, and like he was just flirtatious, and but then you kind of see like how it was a coping mechanism too, because of just how traumatic like his
blew up a town, right?
Yeah. You're like, I committed a genocide, and I need to do like penance, and you could see that it's coming from like a place of just really
So you carried that big cross around,
like literally,
Yeah.
literally. A very subtle.
Well, there's towns in Mexico that do that, right?
Yeah.
Carry the cross.
Yeah, carry the cross.
Well, he was really interesting because he was the most proficient killer in the universe, basically. But he didn't want to hurt anybody. He didn't, never want,
Like Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you guys see Samurai X?
No, I never saw that.
It was so good.
Sounds familiar.
It was like his origin story.
Oh,
yeah. So that's how I was introduced to it, and I saw that, and I was like, well, thank you for ripping my heart to shreds.
Yeah.
And then I saw Rurouni Kenshin. I do think that it went out too long. I think they could have stopped it earlier, and it would have been better.
Yeah.
I think that's why now I kind of just stick to K-dramas, because it's like 16, 20 episodes, and that's good. I'm like, I really don't want to commit to like 100, 200 episodes, unless it's Sandman.
There you go.
I will. Give me 100.
6 seasons in a movie.
Please.
Yeah.
Did you see they're doing a reboot of Trigun?
Oh, yes,
the
yes.
Crunchyroll, right?
Yeah.
The animation looks sharp, but I don't know. It looks weird.
I don't know. I don't think that they need to be like rebooting that one. It's so
the designs
so
are
good.
weird. I'm not a big fan of the designs.
Yeah. It looks like it's sharp.
Yeah.
And it's with the times.
Yeah.
But do we really need it?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like such a old lady now.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm talking.
It's okay.
I'm just saying, do you remember?
Back in my day. Suncoast DVDs cost $30.
Yeah.
They were so expensive. I
For
spent
3
so
episodes.
much money on anime. It is embarrassing.
Yeah, we used to go, we used to go, and there was this guy who was just selling us DVDs.
Yeah.
And, be like, if you like that, you like this.
Yeah.
Here.
You were like dealers, like
Yeah.
drug dealers. Like, hey, you like that stuff.
Because of that guy, I have an extensive martial arts collection, Anime and martial arts for like 10 years buying and collecting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I wasn't that I didn't get any hobbies out of it.
No. Just debt.
Just
Yeah. Put in the card, no problem.
Yeah, it's fine.
$30, sure. But I got the original Cowboy Bebop collection that way,
I love Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Dude, it drives me nuts that you can't find the movie anywhere. Like, it's not streaming anywhere. And, like, that DVD is so expensive because it's just, they didn't mass produce it.
Yeah.
I love that soundtrack from that.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
That was one of the
Yeah.
best soundtracks.
Trigun's like opening song was also really good. Like I love
Western
yeah,
pop.
yeah.
That was interesting.
It was really cool. I love that. I love Millie. Oh, I just like Millie popped into my head right now.
Wow.
It's funny 'cause it shows how different the Japanese market and American market, because like if Triga and Bebop were an American thing, we would have had that crossover.
Oh yeah,
like they would have done it. You know?
Yeah,
it's the future, it's space, it's different.
Yeah, it seemed like it was the same world.
Yeah,
it seemed like they fit in the same universe. Or,
yeah,
yeah, like there's those connectors on the space that would tie them in.
Would have been cool.
Same company?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think that's why I didn't have it.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, anime's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched anything new, really. So, I mean, mostly it was like, what, Battle Angel, Alita, Rurouni Kenshin, Samurai X, Trigun. Ghost in the Shell. Yeah. Like, I loved Cardcaptor. I loved Cardcaptor.
Yeah. Magic Girl.
What was the other one? His and Her Circumstances.
I never watched that one.
That one was really cool. Yeah.
I know of it, but I never.
It was funny. I introduced Adolfo to it, and like there's like, I think there was an episode, I don't remember, like maybe with like one of the crushes or something. He's like, "What's she trying to tell me?" Like he's like, "Yes, I'm telling you through anime. I like you."
Wow. You know what? That's romantic. That is romantical. Wait, well, let me ask you, since we're touching on that, how did you guys really meet?
We met at work. Okay. So we met at work, and we were friends for a while. And then he was doing a zine with one of our coworkers. It was called Trees to Pee On. And then he saw that I was reading like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but I had like found this really cool leather-bound copy with like the gold edging on the pages. So he thought I was reading the Bible, and I'm like in the break room, like, and the good Lord said. But it was that, and then. And so then he was like, "Oh, this is interesting. You know, she's like reading the Bible in like the break room," and then we just kind of started talking, and he's like, "Oh, you know, like I draw." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Like I want to write." And so we were gonna collaborate. Well, we just never did. To this day, we haven't really collaborated. I know. I mean, yes, that is our biggest and best collaboration. Not something that we could show, you know, like the behind the scenes, like, you know, like a comic that, you know, we could, you know, but I told you this is going to be the most random episode. Like, that girl is crazy. Where did you find her? But yeah, so that was how we ended up meeting, and how we ended up, you know, kind of getting together. But it was really funny because we would like talk in code. It's like, "Oh, I like this person," and we would like describe the person, and then we would be like, "Oh, fuck," you know, like it was like, "Oh, it's not me." Like we never thought that it was the other. And like I had a thing, like a chronic thing, where like if I thought that someone liked me, it immediate no. Like I was like, "Oh, I can like you, but you can't like me back. That's not how this works." Until I was already like at a level where I was like, "I really, really like you," like, and then, you know, at that point, was that the bell? Yeah. It was like ding, yes. It was like it got to that level, ding. Yeah, so and then like once it was like I was in too deep, then you like me back, and then like that's it. It's a done deal.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. Probably has to do something with, you know, like my dad probably abandonment issues.
You're afraid that you're like too soon.
You're like, "No, I can't show you that I like you."
Yeah. He's still here, you know.
He is. It's been quite a time. Yeah. He's just.
That's funny. Well, it's interesting. I mean, he told us kind of the story last time, but I mean, like you said, there's his story, your story, and then
the truth. What really happened.
Yeah, and then you drop the hints with the anime, and you know, and one thing led to another, and there you go.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Becky.
I mean, this is a.
You're like, "This is too much. I wasn't prepared." No. You're like, "I wasn't mentally prepared."
I was just ready to get scared tonight. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. You know that, right?
You're gonna text Adolfo like, "Why didn't you warn me? Yeah. She seemed normal."
At 1:00 in the morning, we're like, "Hey man, I can't sleep now."
You're like, we've seen her like over the course of like almost 10 years, and she's seen fine. Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you warn us?
She's gonna put ideas in her head.
Yeah. You're gonna hear me at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
What's that sound?
Tanya. I'm like, that's not my name, homie.
It's gonna be like Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
Oh no.
Go to Dairy Queen. I'm like crying. Oh my god.
That's good. You right?
I'm good. I'm good. It's just funny.
Yeah.
I want to go to Dairy Queen.
Oh my god, no.
Let's go on a field trip, gentlemen.
Let's go.
No.
You're like,
Here are my keys. You can take
so
them.
she's ruined Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
She's ruined the attic above. She's ruined sleep. I
Yeah,
don't know.
probably.
Like, yeah.
Maybe.
I'm cursed now,
Yeah.
so hey.
You're gonna go home and you're gonna find.
The
I
doll.
was gonna say the little dress.
Oh no.
I wasn't gonna say it, but then you're like the doll, and I was like, no, her dress,
The dress, yeah.
just there,
Yeah, that, you know what?
and a little note. I missed you.
I'm sleeping outside in the stars, you know, next to my car. It's okay.
You find the legless doll. Like,
You're gonna find one leg, and then you're gonna go outside, and this is gonna be like in the ground.
Sticking
You're
out
gonna
of
hear things. You're gonna hear things. You're like, where did you leave my other leg? Where's the rest of me?
Mommy, where's the rest of my body?
Oh my gosh. If Fox was here, he would come up with a really good song. Or he would like have some really dramatic dialogue. Yeah. I'm going to tell him the story. I'm like, okay,
no.
let's do a voice note. We're going to send it.
Oh no.
You thought I was bad.
delete. Boy, I want to delete.
It just starts playing.
Playing it. Oh, man. I'm
Um,
scared. Thanks.
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Anytime. Anytime.
So anyway. Read anything not scary recently?
So I've been listening to audiobooks.
Okay.
The last audiobook I listened to, oh my gosh.
Not scary.
No, it wasn't. It was a really beautiful story. It was called The Inheritance of Urquidia Divina by Zoraida Cordova. I don't know why I said that. Like, I'm like Zoraida Cordova. But I read a couple of her books. That she does this, or she did this series called the Brooklyn Bruja series, and it's about like 3 sisters, and they're in a magical family, and they're brujas, but it talks about, you know, from like a different culture. It's not, you know, they have fairies, but, you know, they're alas, and they have, you know, their own ceremonies, and, you know, it's really, really interesting and really cool. And then she's done other books, and she did like this series, I think it's called Incendiary. I haven't read that one, but Urquidia Divina is really, really beautiful. It's like,
What city is she?
she is Salvadorian.
Salvador? No. So Alas
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
different than the fairies over here.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I mean, but there's similarities because, you know, they're beautiful, but, you know, they're not what they seem. And it's, you know, so there's just, and it's interesting because I was listening to, she has a podcast too, with another author, Danielle Clayton, and they're just so good to listen to. And I found a lot of authors and a lot of different media just by listening to them. And they did a anthology called Vampires Never Die, and so they had a lot of, you know, BIPOC authors do their interpretations of vampires. And so it was really interesting listening to the podcast, and, you know, I've read some of the short stories on there, and then they had an author on there who also contributed a short story, Rebecca Roanhorse, and she did a novel, I think it's called The Black Sun. I have it, and I started listening to it too, and it's really cool. So I'm trying to get more into stuff that's not just
Scary.
no. Sorry, listeners, I didn't mean to like. But
Fairies and now more magical, more.
no, like reflective of like what I grew up with. You know, like our culture, you
How
know,
some
like
mango
different
streets had it set
culture,
up.
you know, yeah, no, like where there's brujas and there's hadas and there's, you know, el mano peludo or peluda, you know,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
la
Duendes,
llorona,
yeah.
you know, things like that. So from different cultures, like the Black Sun is set in like ancient I think it's Mesoamerica. So it's got like, you know, Aztecs, it's got like these other cultures that I wasn't aware of, you know, and I think that's really interesting and what I would like to do if I ever finish anything where it's like a little bit more, you know.
Well, yeah, everyone knows the Aztecs, the Mayas, the Incas, but there
Yeah.
was like 300,000.
Oh yeah, you know, like it's more than that, and there's like so many tribes, and there's so many like things. There's this book that I want to get, but I don't think I'm like emotionally or mentally prepared to read it. It's called "Where They Burn Books, They Burn Bodies," and it talks about the Maya and what happened to them, and how this Franciscan monk essentially came and burned people and burned the codexes. And then I was listening to another podcast, and then I guess he felt, I don't know if he felt bad about it, but he's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have burned all that knowledge. So then he was going around and asking people, and he was trying to like get that knowledge back and write it. And I was just like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. How dare you?
Well, that's ancient languages lost. That's ancient
stories, you know, things like that, you know. So like I try and get like that stuff for Fox, you know, to try and, because I didn't even know about that stuff, like the Popol Vuh. You go, girl. It looks nice. But no, like there's so much that like we weren't aware of. And then there's this children's book author, Duncan Tonatiuh, and he does he did a book called what is it called? Feathered Serpent and the Five Sons. Fox loves that book. I read it to him every night. He's like, I want to read about Quetzalcoatl. He's like, I want to read about Mictlan Tecutli, you know, like, and I was like, I didn't know who that was. I'm so sorry. I'm probably not saying it right. But there's so many other books out there, not just like the stuff that's like pushed on us. And so I'm trying to expand my horizons and read more books by, you know, Latino creators, queer creators, you know, BIPOC creators, you know.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows about the Egyptian gods. Very few people know about those Aztec Mayan gods. You know? There was a lot of them.
Yeah, there was. And the stories are beautiful, you know, and there's just so much that it's just really sad that we don't know, especially us, our own culture. It's like, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that this was a thing. I didn't know, because the way that it's always worded is like, oh, you know, these people were savages, like, oh, you know, they didn't wear clothes or anything. And I remember in high school we were talking about the Spanish Inquisition, and then we were talking about like Aztec, and of course they always bring up the sacrifices, and just like, oh my god, these people were like savages and stuff like that, and blah blah. And then the Inquisition, where they were like, you know, they had people just coming up with torture devices. I was like, yes, like the sacrifice, yeah, I see it, but some people volunteered, and it wasn't like, I know they try and make it seem like it was on this like insane scale, but I really don't think, you know, just based on like some of the stuff that I've read, that it was as sensational as they make it seem. But like the Inquisition, come on. You're trying to tell me that was civilized? Excuse me, the pit and the pendulum. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, when it comes to this, like, the sacrificial slab is there, but have you seen the rest of the temple?
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff going on inside here. Engineering that we couldn't fathom. You know? The whole town, the way it was built,
the filtration system. They had a filtration system. They knew how to filter water. They made, what are they called? I don't know if this is the right one. I want to say Chiapas, but I don't know if it's correct, where they actually made like little islands so that they could grow food, because they didn't have, and it's just like, really, and you're going to tell me, I was like, and these people like took showers, you know, like not showers, but they bathed like, you know, at least every day, and, you know, and you're trying to tell me that what? No, excuse me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
They ripped the hard side and ate it in front of the rest of the people. Yeah. That's all people know.
Yeah.
It's my uncle would tell me, you gotta at least know your knowledge. If you're gonna know your culture, you're gonna know it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And I did. I went through that whole, down that rabbit hole for a while.
Yeah.
And I learned all that stuff. And right now, if you ask me, I don't
Yeah.
I was like 20 some odd years old.
Yeah.
Long time ago. But I know that there was more to them than just, savagery, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
The flies are coming. Oh my god. I'm sorry, gentlemen.
At least they're not flies.
They're little ones. It's okay. We can handle them.
We're cursed.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're like, thanks, Tanya.
Right.
Who did this to you?
I'm gonna go have to sacrifice my heart to get rid of the curse.
Yeah.
Look. I'm sure that there's a way that we could, get out of this pickle without having to do any sacrifices. There's probably, I don't know, some plant or like a huevo, cascarilla. Let's find some ancestral knowledge. Like, what do we like? A lady came in, cursed the store by accident. Unintentionally. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I won't be back.
That's a Halloween.
Except for Halloween.
Yeah.
Except for Halloween. I'll do some more research. I'm gonna start asking people, have you ever had an experience? Because I need stories now. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to bring something to the table besides curses and ghosts and sleepless nights.
When we send you up there, tie a rope around your waist. What is that? Twilight Zone style.
You pull it back, it's just cut. We've seen that movie too. I mean, come on.
It's a portal.
Yeah.
It's a portal. You're like Coraline.
Yeah.
You're gonna go. Yeah.
Come out with buttons in it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Could be cool.
Yeah.
No.
It's a new look.
I'm all chicken. Nicest guy in the world. All right. I'm in.
Let's do it.
Halloween.
All
right.
But a nice. Got it.
We're coming up to the close of the end, so it's been an hour. Anything you want to plug?
I have nothing for myself, but let me see. Okay, so Artistic Zine, DSTL Arts, and Naomi Valdevia, Beans and Rice, Melina Chavarria, Acuídate Mija on Instagram and Facebook, Alicia Escobar, the author of the Grey Tower trilogy, Nostalgia comic books. No, yeah, you're pointing at him. I'm getting to him. Adolfo, Aflota Monstro on Instagram. You can find his work there. Encourage him. He's a phenomenal artist. I don't just say that because I'm married to him. I really do think that he is an amazing artist, and I am and always will be his biggest supporter.
I'm second.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, like I know being an artist is difficult, even when people like what you do. I think it's kind of like there's a moment where like, are you just saying that? I don't know. Are you just being nice?
Artists are very self-deprecating.
Yeah. But he is really talented and he has a lot of great ideas, and I really look forward the most to see what he's going to do. And I would like to collaborate with him in the future. But right now, I really want him to focus on finding what it is that he wants to do before he starts going around and collaborating. Because I will be mad. No, I'm kidding. I will just be like, Peter and Cruz, huh? Why don't you go over to their haunted store?
Sorry, buddy.
Sleep up there with the ghost. No, I'm kidding. No, anything that he wants to do, like I will always support him. Like I think he's talented. I think he's smart. I think he's funny. That's why I've been married to him for so long.
Makes sense to me now.
All comes together.
Yeah. Yes.
And don't forget, you gotta plug yourself too.
I don't have anything. Okay, so we have a shared Instagram that when we do, sorry, it's like my phone is like.
La Luna y el Monstruo?
Yeah, La Luna y el Monstruo.
How does this spell? Luna
I'm gonna have to. There's La Luna _ Y _ El Monstruo on Instagram, and that's like the shared one that we have. And eventually I'm going to start posting on there. Like maybe once I get, like a sentence that I like, I'll be like, look, I've done it.
I look forward to it. I'm rooting for that.
Thank you.
Because you guys are very talented. Since I've known you guys, you've always been supportive of him. You've always been the hype woman, like you said earlier. No, I'm serious. You would be selling his wares and tearing. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
While doing your own stuff at the same time. So I mean, give you some hype right there.
Thank you.
There you go.
There's some old stuff on there. If you like what you see, maybe maybe I'll make a comeback with my little arts and crafts. It's the plan. It's the plan. We have a lot of plans.
Little by little, Like I said, this guy, little by little. We just gotta do something. As long as we're doing something, we won't get stuck.
Yes. Agree.
We won't be in that rut. That's why you're here. That's why we're here.
Yes.
And we're doing it.
Yeah, and then you guys, your podcast.
There you go.
Comicentric.
Yeah. Thank you.
See if they make it to the next episode.
See if we're alive the next episode. I hope we are.
What has happened? Like all of a sudden it becomes a paranormal podcast.
Yeah, right? So now we're going to go inside.
And our next guest, Rebecca, the ghost. The ghost that lives in our store. Do not. You guys are both looking at it. Don't open it. Don't get one of those little like voice boxes to hear the ghost. Okay. Don't.
It's
wait.
$29.99 on Amazon.
Look, I'm really trying my best to save you guys. Like I don't know any brujeria. I don't know any protection. I don't know.
You brought the curse off. You can't get out.
No, I mean find yourself a curandera, a bruja, and then drop it off at Dairy Queen. But like me, if it's not bothering you, if it's not doing any harm, then
It just flickered a little earlier.
I like how we went from like, oh, there's a door there to like now we're like referring to it like, no, it's fine, it's nice, it's he's cool, she's cool, we don't know, like they would never. But that's my problem because I'm like, oh, there's a door, and then and that's what happens. I start writing something. I was like, oh, okay, and then a cricket landed on her egg, and then it took her soul to hell, and now her little brother has to go and retrieve it. And then there's two cats, and they're really not cats. They go through the portal with him, and it turns out that they are guardians, ancestral guardians, and they're going to go on this mission with him. That's where it goes, okay? And then there's a tree, and there's stuff that happens. I don't know, okay?
Wow. So is that the book you're writing?
Yeah, that's the one that from. Did I tell you? No. How like a cricket, he wanted to send her back to hell, and then Isabel said that it jumped on her and she got freaked out, and I was like, what if it took your soul?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, they tell me a story, and I'm like, okay, it took your soul, and now Fox has to go, and there's a portal in the closet door he's got to go through. The cats go, turns out they're not cats, and now you guys are in this other realm, and your disembodied spirit is there, and you're like, I need to get back to my body. How do we do that? I don't know. We gotta find that cricket.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Episodic. I look forward to that one. By the way, the cricket's also excited.
Yeah, they are. Like they're all like chirping for me. They're like, yes, do it, girl.
Okay, so I guess with that we're gonna close it. Okay. And I want to thank you for being on.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, the audience, for being here. Peter, always a pleasure, sir. And with that, if anyone's still listening, thank you very much. We're here next week. The curse didn't get us. So thank you very much. You guys have a good morning, day, evening, and bye.
Bye.
Bye. Since when?
Yeah.
Just because she has eyeliner? Right. Oh my god. These people are crazy.
Well, I mean, they all want to be right.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be right,
but that's what I do like, that he's like, nobody can gatekeep the Sandman. Everyone is welcome. I don't know.
And I feel. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say that I feel like, we're living in a time where there's like a lot of different, iterations of like, all these old stories and stuff like that. So it's like, you would think people will get used to it already. Like, obviously, things are probably gonna not be exactly the same as like the old material or whatever.
Yeah, everything changes. It's like playing telephone. It changes every time. It changes word of mouth. Every time someone rewrites it or writes it, it's a little bit different. It's the way things go.
It's gonna change. It's gonna evolve.